Welcome to the winners finals of Group 8 in the Wisdom of Thoth tournament. $1,000 are on the line. 2 people can make it out of the group. One of these guys immediately will do so after this best of 3 is over. In the blue color, we have got our old-timer returning expert. This is CountVonCount. He really wants to make an impact in Retold, so he's been training hard. On the other side, we've got the youngling. Polar opposite of Count, but he's also training hard and he also wants to make a difference in Retold, so at least they have something in common. This is Grass the Kid, aka Grassengroom, just old enough to have a PayPal account. Oh my god. At least we can pay him if he wins. That's pretty good stuff for him. Yeah, playing Zeus here on Frozen Waste. Looking for that priest. I don't think he found him, not even close. Found the pharaoh, but yeah, at least he gets a lay of the land. Like, he figures out where the gold mine is, so he, I suppose, decides not to go for an all-in Athena push, as it would be quite difficult here to push into this location particularly. Although you could, I suppose, veg on Odysseus right here and be mega annoying. I guess that could happen. Could totally see it. But I would suspect we're just gonna see Hippicon and Toxotes on this one. Frozen Waste has a lot of goats on the outside, which Seth will very happily gobble up. Just gonna convert one animal, and you can go around the edges already. Not that the hyena couldn't do it, the hyena could totally do it. I guess the priest was getting the bolt after all. It's gone. Our relics for this map are the Ship of Fingernails for some food trickle, and we've got the Flagstone of Buchen for some wall cost reductions. There was no spectator in this, so we won't have the spectator UI this one. Probably not the rest of these games either, but that's too bad. We'll make do, however, with what we've got. And want to do a quick shout out to our website subscribers who are keeping the project alive. Guys, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, to be exact. Make sure to collect your perks if you haven't already. I think a lot of people are forgetting it. I have to go and remind them every time that, hey, you can ask for a show match, you can request a podcast. I'm just one direct message away. We'll do the thing. That's what all the perks are for. So you guys want to join the club, then Twitch About section has the link, as well as the YouTube description section. As for the match itself, though, it looks like the first patch of caribou has dried up. Going to the next one now. Count walks away with one goat here, but loses the hyena. Varus getting eaten up. Tasty. And it is Athena after all from Grass. That's interesting. I'd be curious to hear from everyone as well. We all will be curious at MetaPlays about how you found this tournament so far with the group stages. We're probably gonna be exploring something different as the Twitch viewership hasn't been that great. It's been actually one of our poorest thus far, but still very curious to hear about the player experience, because maybe we've just gotten some aspect of it wrong. Such as some mismatches in the early rounds especially. I think the winners finals in the groups were pretty good though. Well, the Ptah harassment is about to start. This is when you have to evacuate, and Grass is doing it at a pretty good time as well. Where did that shifting sense? Oh my god. He just lost all his... All the goats are gone, dude. That's savage. Oh. Oh. CountVonCount has 18 goats. And there's more around the edge of the map. That's bonkers. Grass said doing it live would help. Well, it defeats the purpose of a scheduled tournament, which is what people have been begging for. We can't always do it live. You guys sometimes at 2 p.m. my time. I'm like, in the middle of work, I can't stream while I have work hours. That's not happening. We could do dedicated days for groups. So all 4 people have to play in that time slot. Or maybe it's a tighter tournament with like segmented skills. So as a separate amateur thing maybe for lower and mid-level players. I don't know. Like there's so many ways to do this. There's many ways to skin an A1 player. What? Never mind. Never mind. Vedget might be picked off. The second TC is not gonna come up without the Pharaoh to empower. Ay ay ay. Grass said a lot of people have seen these games already because they were first-person cast or cast by others. That's a good point. That is a good point. Armory coming up now for CountVonCount. What is going on with that Minotaur? This could be actually really threatening what Grass is doing right now. Count is in a little bit of trouble. I don't think he'll outright lose the game here, but this is certainly a pain point, and he's being forced to make barracks units, which is not the place you want to be in, really. Good job keeping the Vedget alive, which will regenerate and potentially receive some Pharaoh healing there. Never mind, Odysseus should be able to snipe now. Oh, he misses twice. Unbelievable. There's the healing. And we'll go back to full, but the tower's dead. That's a tough one. Temple getting attacked. Houses are easy pickings. The priests aren't exactly able to defend this, but there's plenty of spears now. And if Count cranks out just a few more, even just axemen or slingers would do the trick. He's pretty much stuck in the classical age for a long time now, and the longer you stay in that against Greek, the harder it will become. But he's largely speaking losing just these 3 buildings, and that's not gonna hurt you too much. The villagers have to build it back up, sure. So in that sense, it's annoying. Oh, Spear just barely managing to survive it thanks to being a medium spearman. Basic one would have died. Now the Minotaur's gone. Thinking Count can probably chill about making any more unless he really wants to commit to this classical age fighting. He's got husbandry on the villagers, but nothing else for the moment. The villagers are spending a long time walking around the gold mine. Hippikon Hoplite is back and Odysseus is rejoining the battle. Grass is going to add a little bit of archery ranges. That will help a lot against the spears, but if the slingers can kind of counter them. So it's all down to the power of the Hippicon right now. And I think the mission for Grass is not to try to break that main, but to control the gold mines. And maybe even if he can get that second TC up and running, that's actually sick. The Spearman rate, however, from CountVonCount is doing great here. Got some good pullback micro in there. I'm afraid the kitchen knives are stronger though than the spears. Maybe not with that kind of micro though. Looks like the villagers are actually struggling to defend themselves there. But this will get run down by the Hoplite and Hippicon. The spears have to leave. They are faster. They stay. They'll die. So Grass has a second TC up. He's got both heroes up. And targeting down the Badget. Destroying one more house, but I don't know if this is particularly helpful in this case, because this gold mine will run out very soon. So right now there's no reason to engage here. This is only giving Count some extra warning that, yeah, an attack will come. And look at all those priests now. They are going to be able to heal up the army so quickly if they get a chance to breathe. Villagers moving forward. Not sure what their purpose is yet. They might be here for kitchen knife battles. More hoplites and a Hippicon join the fight, and a ton of these priests will be picked off. Count reaches the heroic age through Neftis and might start to use his god powers very soon. At the moment he's got some goats up there for whatever reason. The last priest will probably be picked off. Even the pharaoh dies. So he'll have to use his god power, or maybe even consider a resignation here. Somehow he's able to barely crank out the Migdol. And then that should secure the gold mine, but our Greek player will realize this immediately and he's beelining for that other gold mine. A lone Migdol by itself doesn't cover itself. You gotta have a target to shoot at and not at the base of it. There's a minimum range on this thing. So maybe Ancestors and the existing army should be enough. But is it actually? Bear in mind, Restoration is still available, but so is Ancestors. Villagers will need to repair. There's the Ancestors coming in. Slingers working hard to try to take down these heavier units. Restoration getting used right now. And the minions are getting engaged. Restoration doesn't last very long, so the Greek units will start taking losses momentarily. Barely any minions left, however, on the field. Slingers not yet working on taking down the Toxotes. There's only like 4 of them, so they could make pretty quick work of that group. These are the heavy spearmen. Much better fit to fight Hippicons. But Count is not gathering any gold. See if the chariots and the scorpion men will be enough to hold here. So he's getting targeted down by the slingers. Also bear in mind that Count is falling behind in the villager count the whole time. That said, Grass, he lost a lot of population here, and that's a very expensive army to remake. But he's almost maxed out on civilians. The income will go bonkers momentarily. As soon as he's maxed out on 80 vills, he no longer has to spend food. And all those resources will go towards upgrades, aging up, next TC, stuff like that. Count doing a good job, however, of securing his gold mines. He's gonna have 16 villagers on them, making his final houses, as some of them have been destroyed and never got remade. He'll also need to make a farm transition or go to berries. Neither option is particularly great. And bear in mind, every second that passes, Grass is making more and more villagers. Meanwhile, Count is kind of housed. And even once he's not housed, his military units will instantly take over the population space that would normally go to villagers. So, yeah, he's not making villagers, and Grass is making 2 for 0. Little heart getting made. There's a second TC. Yeah, Count kind of needed that for a while now. Being under this much pressure obviously is going to delay it, so... Know this. He needed to do what he did. It's just I think he's in a little bit of trouble. Grass a little low maybe on the farm count. But it looks like he's fixing it. There's 12 here. There's 23 here. Not the most beautiful placement, but it doesn't matter that much really. It's just something that if you have the time, which you normally should, definitely worth it placing them properly. But it's not that big of a deal. Scorpion Man should be taken down, at least this one. The other one will probably stay around just fine. And Grass is not going to be able to take this kind of fight. Not against this many chariots, and Count can now grab the third town center. That said, it's 16 minutes and I think Grass is on 80 vils. Or he's about to be. He's on 70 right now. That's a bit strange. What happened there? Was he idling a TC when he was like making heroes? Massive drop of food coming through. Now Count going with the counterattack. All these chariot archers are a huge issue for Grass. He doesn't have medium cavalry, he doesn't have bronze shields. It's gonna be tough to engage them directly. It's a good thing he secured this gold mine a little bit, but they're very raidable by chariots. Yeah, this TC is idle, see? It's something that really needs to be paid attention to when you make the heroes. Oh my goodness, Count is just going up to 4 TCs. What is happening? He has just enough food income to make that happen. But he's going to need a farm position very shortly. He's maxed out for the moment. Looking for a hunt spot in the middle. Getting the walrus. Right, there's the medium Hippicon. It's still basic hoplite still. I think the Hippicons will be mostly fine against these chariots for the moment. But once the spear number starts rising a little bit again, I think Grass is in trouble. The chariots are amazing against the Toxodis and hoplites. Just staying at this max range and not really getting contested at all. Grass better go heroic soon. TC is still idle. Is he maxed now? He lost a bunch of villagers, so he's not maxed on villagers completely. But he is going up Apollo. It's a lot of chariots, Count. 23 of them? Wow. It's basically just chariots. They do have copper shields. Probably should get copper mail as well for all these hippicons. There's going to be a lot more of them soon. And they're about to discover that this gold mine is right here. Basically up for grabs when it comes to raiding. Count doesn't yet have a siege workshop. But I think he might be going mythic. It's getting 45 TCs. Can't yet afford mythic, but once he gets some gold going, I think it will happen. Meanwhile, he can get some free kills with the chariots. Just keep retreating every time the cavalry gets close. They're not particularly fast, so the chariots can in fact escape like this. Manticore should be easy pickings for those priests. Got heavy chariots. It's definitely a nice stat upgrade. So still medium hippicon as well. No, heavy cavalry is coming through. Grass does have a market. There's no trading market. There's no way that you can use that for gold income. Grass just doesn't have the map control right now, and Count can definitely do mean things to him. Heavy cavalry comes through. Just in time for this fight to still matter. But I feel like Count can just retreat and be overall fine. Make those stronghold coming up over here, which I think should reach all the way to the gold mine. But more importantly, secure this and stop our Greek player from heading out there. Count going for the choke. It's got almost full population. Still pumping those villagers. And in a moment should be able to reach the numbers that our Greek player has. In fact, has exceeded it already. Count now starting to be advantaged. So if Grass can't go mythic or make something big happen soon, he's gonna be in trouble. He's trying to go mythic with Hephaestus. Maybe that will work out. We'll see. But Hephaestus doesn't pay off instantly. Like, you'll have to wait for that plenty vault to start doing value. You'll have to wait for those armory upgrades to come in. We've got medium hoplites, which are going to be able to survive a little bit longer. Maybe with Colossus he can take back a TC. Starting up Helipolis. Once he has gold, he can start up more Colossus too. But 12 gold miners, that's probably not enough, to be fair. I think that's at least copper shields. No, it's bronze shields already for our Egyptian player. Really doesn't want to deal with the with the Toxotes, but there's not that many. Really not that many of them. It's mostly melee units for grass, but he doesn't have a lot of those either. And the spears are a fantastic answer to the Helipolis, who don't have any hack armor, and these guys deal double damage as well. So Helipolis will evaporate. This was mostly visual thinking on Grass's side. He'll probably be considering Myrmidons. Forge of Olympus is done. So his armory upgrade suddenly very cheap. I'll be able to quickly get those. As for Count, not going mythic, but he must be maxed out on villagers. Just a matter now of actually saving up the resources for mythic. Grass can also kind of turn the game around if he can get out Bellerophon. Or if he can get even 45 TCs, that would help a lot. His count is now 180 population versus 135, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 130, sorry. And that's a tough one. That's not going to work out very well. Third shield upgrade just finished. And for the moment, our Egyptian player has severely out-upgraded our Greek one. Adding siege towers to the mix will also take care of the Helipolis further, which will allow the chariots to then just deal with the army. The humans, I mean. Helipolis is doing some pretty good damage though, denying at least the siege building. Colossus tanking the priest and the chariots like a champ. He's got 80% pierce armor, so he can do this all day pretty much. Go and eat some trees and he'll be good to go still. Migdor Stronghold looks like it will be destroyed, but at what cost? Count pushing up on here with several chariots raiding, with the Migdor Stronghold getting made on top of the gold mine of grass. Definitely tough situation to be in, and then the mercs are just here for extra discouragement. The priests have been upgraded as well with funeral rites. That's very nice to see some further preparation. CountVonCount is doing it. He's got it. His first game going to him. Brass just not really able to put away the game. Gold Star failed. And he couldn't macro enough behind this. Count then killed a lot of villagers. And eventually capturing 4 TCs does mean that you max out and just kind of stomp from there. You've got game 2, and CountVonCount in this one is going to be playing as Ra. And on the other side, in the red color, this is Grassengroom, aka Grass the Kid, playing as Oranos here. Gets Hunting Dog, despite it being Alfheim, which doesn't often give you high hunt, or even medium hunt. This is a pretty good setup. So if Oranos can control the map, you're gonna get 3 patches of hunt and maybe 4 at the stretch. If you're highly successful with your thermal harassment. And this gold mine kind of allows for a little bit of diving in. But it's covered by 2 towers and sort of the town center, so you have to be careful at the same time. Also, it's a fairly vulnerable map, right? Like these only these small gaps that you have to care about, and then there's the second TC to grab, which secures some back hunt. Is something that Count could do. Also, I would lose my mind if he does a Scarab Rush. That would be hilarious. Probably isn't gonna happen though. Anyway, let's check out our relics. You've got the Tail of Cerberus for some Myth Unit special attack recharge reductions. You've got the Blue Crystal Shard for gold and wood gather rate increases. We've got the Pygmalion statue for villager hit points. And whatever else there was, the Pharaoh must have picked up. It's the Pelt of Argus for some line of sight. Gets the early monument. Might still just be for Shaduf. Got the free walling with the houses. You'll never get houses, Ra. Unless, of course, our Oranos player destroys some houses like he did last time with Zeus. And we're going for the second hunt spot. As well as a little bit of cows. The additional villagers that are created will have 0 walking time because of this. And this could indicate to us that we're going to be looking at some relatively early farms because we're not bothering with the berries. We don't care about saving the cows. We're just eating them up now, not when they get bigger. YOLO. Early farms, early rain. Make sure the Atlantean guy doesn't benefit. So this might be a relatively peaceful game in the end. Grass should be advancing for a 430 here. That's exactly what he'll do. And soon we're about to find out what path Count will take as well. A little bit further out, as you can see. Got 11 villagers on food right now. But he'll suddenly drop off a lot of resources, especially as husbandry is done. That's movement for the villagers. Oh! He's getting an archaic age second monument. Interesting. That's fascinating. What's going on here in Count's base, man? Even stopped empowering the food because he knows that with this drop-off over here, he can get enough. Just for a moment, he'll be gathering some extra food so he can keep making villagers, and then we should be seeing something along the lines of 12 villagers maybe on the gold, and then starting the farming operations up. If it's a 1 TC strat. If it's 2 TCs, then as soon as he's classical, he'll be oh, Bast! Okay. Farms will be pretty expensive to make as Bast. For our Atlantean player, we've got Prometheus in, and it's a double counter barracks for double Terma production. Horse, good unit. Gotta spam that. The relic finally gets found, and there's no second TC. Can't be Sphinxes, surely. Yeah, there's the farms. This might be a Scarebrush. Like I said, a lot of the gold will be now spent on the farms. Their full cost, 70 gold each. Terma harassment is going to arrive by the gold mine, but I'm not sure they can do much. Can maybe poke a little bit, but killing villagers is probably out of the question with this tower fire coming in. So if you're grass, do you just go second TC here? It's a little bit of harassment, as I said, but it's kind of gonna stop there. Got one barracks with spearman production? What? It's a little surprising. Okay, garrisons are pretty nice and the Terma count is growing. So, yeah, Grass is not gonna let up. He's just gonna go even harder on this. Soon we're arriving at a number of Terma where they can one-shot the villagers. You don't care about no kitchen knife. Rain's gonna be used. Count only has 9 vills on farms? What? It's a very low amount. Spearman should probably be careful here and not try to engage, as they'll be just kited into oblivion. Not that many villagers, and one of the farms is in fact inactive. Spears do engage. Is this gonna be a gold starve? Eventually the Terma will destroy the tower, but it will take a lot off them. Grass doing his best to stay in the minimum range, but now there's 5, 6 spearmen and the Sphinx. That's a lot, and they're catching the hero Terma, depriving Grass of a way to kill the Sphinx. I'll need to convert more Terma manually. Additional Sphinx is being made. Their special attacks recharge faster, I think. Oh no, this is just line of sight. But that is a relic on the map. That would have been nice for Sphinxes, dude. Been very nice. As we suspected earlier, the caribou are gonna get eaten up, and these ones are probably next. Spears got kited nonetheless. But the Sphinxes are growing in number, and there's 3 of them now. Soon 4. Count can do this all day. It's back on the gold mine. Soon we'll need to move on. Okay, stopped making any further. Now I do wonder if you'll get the Sphinx upgrade. Like Creo Sphinx is actually pretty cheap. It's like plus 50 hit points and 50 and 20% damages respectively, and then you can do it again. Like, that's pretty sick. The second one gives some speed as well, rather than health. Definitely a huge fan of these god paths that give you like multiple upgrades for your myth units. Especially if the upgrades are different from each other. Although AOM's upgrades are a little bit statty, you know. Lots of small percentages here and there. Not everything does that. There's some really impactful upgrades. But most of them are like, plus 10% attack, you know, whatever. Then you got things like Eclipse. Gives these guys bonker speed and attacks and recharge times. Now that's a game changer. Then again, there's other upgrades like Sylvan for centaurs. Suddenly, they're so fast they can dodge some hero shots. We got Creo Sphinxes now. Another extremely impactful myth unit upgrade is Rampage, actually, from Hell. Suddenly, your fire giants are made in 1 second. Or your mountain giants. Make a temple on top of a TC and boom, 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 boom. There's your bonker boys. With the big stick energy. What I'm trying to say is, I want Hagrid to come back and make another dumpster fire mod. Thanks. My TED talk. CountVonCount almost ready to go to the heroic cage. Grass chilling on 2 TCs. He's a long way away from such ambitions. Not. He's clicked Hyperion. As for Count, he's actually gonna do it. He's getting Sekhmet. Sadly, he's not gonna have Eclipse available for the bugs. Oh, that's awkward. Pharaoh gets sniped. Takes 2 Terma with him. But there's plenty left. So, it's just the 1 Sphinx now getting healed? Nah, that's 2. It's a lot better than 1. 3rd Terma dies. And for now, the villagers are satisfied with just hunting. It's now Hierarcho Sphinx. Much faster. What else does this upgrade do again? Oh, it further upgrades the damages, I see. It's not often that you see this, so enjoy it while it lasts. Sekhmet's done. We might get some more scarabs. Although probably we won't. Citadel has been made. And Count is on 0 gold. I think that's really telling what's about to happen next. Grass, being heroic himself, he can just get Quintarius, Destroyer, and instead of Terma, he could get Arcus. And that's a devastating composition to just Sphinxes. And bear in mind, these Quintarius are already almost as fast as Sphinxes. If you turn them into heroes, they're actually faster. So they can run them down. Grass also has a Chaos power available, as if the situation hadn't been bad enough for Count already. He's gonna lose a Sphinx for free, as well as 3 of his Spearmen out of 6. It's kind of brutal, dude. Like the double gold mine approach at least. Oh, he's just gonna fight it straight up. No chaos. No need. There's plenty of units. Scrab is going to cross the map and try to be sneaky. Crash should see it. Are we gonna see a shiny block or... Nah, he's letting it through. But he's got villagers and they've got kitchen knives and those hurt the Scrab a lot. He's got only 30% hack armor, so eventually they'll whittle him down. Not that I know the Scarab's gender. TC's coming up. Scrab is gonna have to walk away. Maybe attacking the manor is the best play available right now. Should go for it. Still reduces the population count, but there's at least this going for Count. He's got that gold mine. So that's some pretty good news. Grass is going to have to work for this a little. Citadel has some pretty good firepower. And we'll be able to deal with these units almost no problem. Especially if the priest empowered it, that would be sick. But the heroes realize what's going on. So even the manor stays up. And really all that Grass needs to do is just try and find what gold mine Count is at. Like, there's no way that he's surviving off of no resources, right? So he's got to figure this out. He's currently looking, finding one villager. But this villager is going to just kitchen knife the Termite if he's not careful. Pygmalion statue would be very nice to have for either side. Especially Count, who really needs those villagers fighting. Oh dude, this TC is gonna come up because Grass is allowing it. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, he noticed. He noticed, but I don't think he can take it down even with the Quintarius heroes. 13 DPS here. It's not enough. There's a good number of destroyers though. So at some point, those will become quite threatening. Market's up for Count. And being on 3 TC puts him in an okay position. Like, he should be able to start making some units soon. Not just spears. A bunch of elephants wouldn't be the worst if he could afford them. Currently got 22 villagers on wood. That is way too much, so going for priest siege might be one of the least bad options, but Akati is in, he's wasted too long running about doing stuff. How much more damage does the Citadel do? So this does 18 per arrow. This does 22.5 per arrow, so it's a little bit of extra. That's just with 45 TC done. Anyway, Tartarian Gate was used in the main on the barracks. Villagers getting pulled onto it. The towers will help. There's one priest helping, but that's kind of not enough. More are being made. But what will be the thing to take down the Tartarian Gate? Bear in mind, Grass is also on 3 town centers. And he's pushing on this front pretty hard. The destroyers are doing a lot of work on this TC, even though there's only 2 of them. More are on the way. They're heavy destroyers. There's nobody repairing. There's only slingers around. And Count's villagers are being absolutely wrecked by the Tartarian Gate spawns. Yikes. It might actually stay up. This isn't even Mason's upgraded, by the way. The Tartarian Gate is just doing its thing. Front TC is destroyed. Just a few more hits. Unpaid going in. Guess the chariot stays alive. If you get mythic rejuvenation, these lampades can actually be quite cost effective. You just gotta do the convert attack and get the hell out and come back. Anyways, that's gonna be that. Score is now 1-1. Grassengroom equalizing the series. Playing pretty well here. Playing pretty well for sure. Maybe you can even take out CountVonCount. Spawning in the blue color, we have got our Egyptian player. This is CountVonCount. Hard to believe I'm calling him an Egyptian player, but it's the case. There is some stuff here on the screen. Something's giving us an error. Alright, I found it. On the other side, we have got Grass the Kid. Playing as Gaia. Not something you see very often on Anatolia. It's usually Egypt Haven, a little bit of Greek. Very rarely do you see Norse or Atlanteans, but it can certainly happen. Kronos more often than Gaia. But there's been a slight uptick of Gaia, so maybe there's something to it. The Gaia forests are definitely going to be helpful with getting out a lot of fishing ships. And the Gaia fishing ships are a little cheaper for whatever good that will do. It's the only thing they get, right? Oh no, they get 30 hit points as well. So these are only 120. These are 150 hit points, so very hard to raid. What does this Gaia give them? Nothing else, just 5 wood discount. It's a very small discount. Count is getting the chickens, interestingly enough, rather than the goats. I mean, I guess it works. It just involves a little bit more walking, and eventually you can go for the goats anyway. Our relics this time are going to be the Flagstone of Bochum and the Shingles of Steel. So a little bit of discounts for the walls and more power to the houses and manors. Alright, Grass believes that Gaia is better than Kronos against Isis on this map, which is why he picked it. So he says in the chat. So that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. You do get Feia. You do get all these fantastic eco upgrades. It's difficult to use all that against ISIS. I mean, all the Kronos tools that you normally have. Deconstructing amygdala, probably not gonna happen with monuments around. And you don't get your Asperities tree to protect yourself. Although maybe you just go for Rhea and for traders. And you convert all the Isis Smith units. That said, I don't really expect any significant pressure from a Gaia player until much later. It's gonna be Oceanus. Getting that free servant on the water. Well, pushing a little bit against the fishing ships. Definitely the biggest deal though is the eco upgrades. Like, oh wait, what? Grass didn't get any? Yo. We're not getting any eco upgrades. Huh. Well, once this is complete, I expect to see at least per scene. As servants. And there's per scene. It's pretty cheap, as you can see. Getting a 100 resource discount on this thing. So I guess we're just booming on the water, and that's good enough for Grass. As for Count, he's only 55% bast. So a lot of his fishing ships will be bullied out of the game. Until then, the Carnivora will be able to probably take down one dock. Especially with the servant helping out. Grass says the fishing ship costs makes a big difference. Well, the per scene cost makes a bigger difference than all your fishing ships combined. That's the crazy part. But then you add all that up, and that makes a big difference. So there's both things. That's what makes a difference, really. I'm now going for the cabinet. There's barely a few. So I really like Grass's push here. Definitely, like I said, that one dock will be destroyed by the Carnivora, and then the houses are next, or they're supposed to be. As for the other side, though, this looks fine for the moment. Like, it will take a lot more by Reams to actually put on any pressure, but in the meantime, the Carnivora is dealing some good damage to the houses. They will be taken down. That's some extra idle time for the villagers to rebuild those. Otherwise wouldn't have been the case. But now Count seems rather well prepared over here. And we still don't have any economic upgrades on the villagers. Oh, this is also a manor. What? Yeah, so first scene has been in. Didn't get cancelled or anything like that. Count does not have first seen, and he's definitely behind in the fishing ship department. Wish I could show you how many he has. But we'd have to count the old-fashioned way. Retold can't come soon enough. He's only got 8 fishing ships, plus maybe a handful in the docks. As for grass, that should be 9, 12, up to 15, but it's not quite 15, is it? He can get there. You got a water carnivora. It's gonna slap one of these cabinets. Now the problem with the water carnivoras like this is once they're there, cast into the water, they kind of can't do anything. Kind of wish they could move a bit. I don't know. Might be oppressive. But like being stuck there, I guess you can anchor around them and try to pull back your ships. Like these guys will walk right into it, right? That's the idea. Grass is trying to make it happen, but no, it's gonna get targeted. And it will just tank for the ships and kind of go down. The moving carnivora, I'll give anything. Let's make it happen. You guys asking for unbans? The banned people can make a ban appeal and then I'll forward it to the moderator team. That's how it works. It's right here on Twitch. You can actually appeal to be unbanned. Best way to use Carnivora is to put it by the docks. Yes, I agree with this. Good point, Teresa. Because then, at least, even if it's idle, you can still use it. And it can be on the water, doesn't matter really. Or land. So long as it's right next to the dock. And I think the water Carnivora is actually stronger. But the dock will shoot back. Pretty sure it's got 50 more hit points. Very brave TC from Count, and the citizen tried to build something here, but it failed. Yeah, we got Rhea. Trader was used somewhere. Where? Oh, stealing the Sphinx. I see. And now it should be all about Arcus Contarius. That's exactly what's happening. We've got behemoths on the field. There will be a lot more of those. Grass has a lot of food in the bank. Once he's maxed out, even once he has the TC, he'll almost immediately have enough to go Mythic. I wonder if it's going to be Hecate or if it's going to be Atlas. Both seem to be decent choices. It's time to siege the TC Count, trying to get some gold out of this, but he's still in the classical age, isn't he? So that's a tough situation to be in. Doesn't have any food. What? He's getting owned on the water, dude. This is a problem. Behemoths are going to siege down this TC, and the main is next. Plenty of Arcos here to support. The Oracles get turned into heroes. Good job by Grass saving them for later, by the way. Like, if you have a surplus of resources and you're maxed out, you might as well use your Oracles as heroes. We'll be able to destroy the docks. Count actually stopped pursuing the cabinet production. He's restarted it for some reason, but I don't think that will work. Now trying to go for a classical age army, but it's too many Arcus and Contarius coming up from the base, so that will be problematic. Gaia Force getting used again. Grass speaks for the trees. And they're angry. Okay, it's gonna be Atlas, which is actually working out great here. All the villagers will get pulled in, all the army will be pulled in, even the heroes. And they'll be hurting from that process. Actually, I kind of think that Grass can take this on directly, but he should definitely wait for the God Power. It's just more cost effective. Maybe you can wait a moment until the villagers come forward, as this is about to oh, it's got still 800. Okay, well the priests are extremely slow, so they can't exactly escape this unless they're already at the edge. So really good cast, the Pharaoh gets pulled back in, the villagers get all pulled in. And I'm thinking, these barracks can't sustain this kind of damage, right? Barely anything survives, if at all. That one slinger somehow. The barracks at 60 hit points survive, but Grass is coming in. He's got the Argus. He's got one eye for every unit he just killed. Boom shakalaka. Count is going to resign. He's got nothing. He's got nothing. And Grassengroom moves on to the round of 16 with that. Very good performance from the youngling. Awesome. Awesome work. Taking down an expert. Needs to make an RTS sanctuary post and get an expert tag right away. That's how it works, right? Wait, it's by popular vote? What do you mean? What?
We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.